tell us about the Muskegon Big Red football program. It doesn't start when they come up here on varsity. They play the same type of football through all levels. Tell us about that, how that's set up for the offenses through the kids so they know the system when they come up here.
Well, it helps that this community bleeds red and white. This community bleeds Big Red football. So at our team camp, we had some seniors step up, Deshaun being one, TJ being one, John Hall being one, and they were in their senior speech at the team camp. They talked about, remember when I was, I'm a senior now, but I remember when I was going to the games and playing football down by the big oak tree, and I would hear Chris Crawford's name over the loudspeaker, and I heard Ronald Johnson's over the loudspeaker, so I always wanted to be Chris Crawford, and John said he always wanted to be Ronald Johnson, and the other kid I wanted to be Terrence Taylor. So it helps when they're 6, 7, 8 years old, hearing these great players come through here, hearing the name over the speaker with a great voice there from Brad Young, and now today the Will Hunts and the Chris Crawfords and the John Halls and the Ken Finleys, Malik Kings will be the eyes. The little guys will have their eyes on them. So however they produce as student athletes and positive people in our society is going to benefit us, because then those kids will want to follow in those footsteps. So it just I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Big Red football is Big Red football. It's going to exist with me or without me. I'm just fortunate enough to be in the race car and got to keep it on track, as I always say.
There you go. Well, the offense, last year you had a very proficient quarterback in Jalen Smith. He was a good runner. He was also a decent passer. But then you throw in Deshaun Thrower towards the tail end of the season. Now, he was injured for a while last year. He seems to be a little bit stronger passer. Some other things open up. Will that do that this year as far as your offense and some other new things that people might be seeing?
Most definitely. When you have a kid named Thrower, it kind of helps that he throws the football. So he's not one to hand it off a lot. He either wants to run with it or throw it. So he throws the ball 70 yards easy. Jalen did some great things with his instincts and being a great ball distributor. Our offense last year was the third most scoring offense in school history. So he did a heck of a job leading this team. But it's going to have a whole new look to it a little bit this year with Deshaun. Can't say a whole lot more until after the season gets going. But you're going to see some things that are going to benefit with Deshaun and his abilities, and we're going to open it up a little bit more. And I don't mind saying, yes, we are going to throw the ball with Thrower.
Mm-hmm. And something that's near and dear to you is defense. That's what you played. That's what stops the other team, and trying to shut them out. The Big Reds have always been strong, and it looks like it's going to be another big year.
Well, that's always a great thing for us, is the way our kids love to fly around and hit people. So last year we were young. We have 7 starters back on defense. So with the 7 starters back on defense, only 2 on offense, it's totally opposite of what it was a year ago. Last year we had 9 or so back on offense, and then we started all these underclassmen. So this year, going in and meeting with coaches and having our preseason meetings, the fact is, okay, our defense has got to do things to hold us in games. We got to talk about field possession, the field possession game, our defense, setting up our offense to be successful until those guys get going and get comfortable. So we got to have a confidence in our defense. Our defense this year should be. Now, I've been in this game 26 years, and the times that you say, this is it, it's a letdown. And there's times like you scratch your head and you go, we're not going to be very good. And all of a sudden you're like, where'd this come from? Mm-hmm. So, but projectively on paper, we have a pretty fun and dynamic defense. So they're pretty sassy, and if I can use that word, and sure. I think it's going to be fun to see. And I'm excited for Thursday night, as our scrimmage, and that'll tell us a lot.
Mm-hmm. And when you're at this level, another thing that helps make a team successful is your assistant coaches. You've got a strong crew headed up not only by yourself, but Justin Ego and also Brent White on offense. You've got a good staff you put together.
Yeah, it's one, I think I've been blessed with great coaches in my life, with Dave Taylor, Mike Holmes, Mike Rebecki, Tony Anise. So those coaches, being with them and all my years of coaching, whether I played for Tony, played for Mike Rebecki and Holmes, and then I got a chance to coach with Dave Taylor. And then I got a chance to be Tony's assistant here and his D coordinator. So those are great guys. I mean, some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I've been born with a silver platter of coaching staffs to mentor me, and then in doing so, I think it's helped because now I coached Brent in high school. I coached Justin in high school. I coached Matt Bowles in high school. I coached Tony Terrell in high school. I coached Cameron Williams in high school. I coached David Davis in high school. So it goes right on down the list. And all my assistants now are guys that played for Muskegon or played at Catholic, and I have coached and have been with me ever since 2003 when I first started becoming a head coach at Holton High School. So that's a bond. It's definitely knowing what each other does. It's, without having to always tell them what to do. They have initiative. They know me. They know what I'm thinking. I know what they're thinking. So there's times I'll look at them and say this, and they're like, gotcha, I'm ahead of you. You know what I mean? So that's just a comforting feeling that, and I'm successful. I think I'm 28-9, I think, in 3 years, 2 district championships, regional championship, state final appearance in 3 years. This is my 4th year now. I'm not there because of me. I'm there because of, like you said, the core of coaches that I surround myself with, and that's our message to our kids. If you surround yourself with good things and good people, good things happen. If you surround yourself with bad things and lazy people and unmotivated people, then unmotivated things happen. So I've just lived that same motto, and it's been pretty successful so far.
The books on 2012 have been closed. Coaches usually immediately get the pencil out, the pad of paper, start putting down the goals. What are your goals for this year, 2013?
Well, it's always to play. If you talk to our kids, it's this, and what that is we're hoisting the trophy at Ford Field Thanksgiving weekend. So we always talk about long-term goals. We set a long-term goal, and then, okay, now we got our long-term goal. Let's set our short-term goals. The things that we can feasibly see right away, and that is to have a good off-season, to be healthy going into game 1, have big growth between game 1 and game 2, and being coachable. Are our kids coachable? Are we putting our kids in the right position? By that point in time, you want to have won the conference, a conference championship, and then of course your 6 wins to get in the playoffs and give yourself a chance. And then then you ask for a little luck. That's another goal. Have luck. Got to have luck. And then from there is to be a state champion. So we have the pyramid in our team room with 14 steps, and right now it's just got Grand Haven on it. You know what I mean? So at the end of week 1, we'll either put Grand Haven's name on the first step, cross our name out, or we'll cross them out and put the M on step 1. And then, of course, so each week then we have the championship game. We have game 6 for playoffs, then it's, the conference championship game, and then the district pre-district game, then the trophy game, and then another trophy game, and then the right to play for a trophy. So that's how we break it down, and it's a visual for our kids to see, and it's just right there for them. It's just a snap of a finger, and we're going to be there.
For the kids, a coach can impress so much on them that it can affect them for the rest of their lives. What do you want them to take away from playing for Shane Fairfield in the game of life, things that you want them to do as individuals when they go out in the community?
Be in the pursuit of greatness. That's our one of our models right now is we're in the pursuit of. I'll say we're in the pursuit of, and the young men will say greatness, and I'll say with greatness comes, and they'll say happiness. So being great people, being great students. That's the biggest thing is having a relationship with us. Wins and losses will come and go, and you can survive those. It's when we don't do life very well. You talked about the game of life. We play football really well. We play the game of football with the best of them. But now what we're trying to do is get our kids to play the game of life even better, and that they can become, great students, great people. That will measure us, myself, Keith Guy, as their athletic director. The more kids we get into college, the more kids that graduate from college will far outweigh any championships and wins and losses for us. So as a staff now, we want to be gauged on making sure every senior graduates, which has happened the last 10 years. Every senior on our football team has graduated. And then now it's everyone gets into college, and then everyone becomes productive citizens in society. And last but not least, the number one thing that I want to have happen is the day I lay to rest, I want someone to come back and say something great about me that changed their life in front of my daughters.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, that's great philosophy, and we want to thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best in the 2013 upcoming season.
Thank you very much.
That's Shane Fairfield. We invite you to watch exciting Big Red football on DSE TV right here on Comcast 96.